What inspired you to step into this field?
Well, after losing a few family members and a few jobs, I was looking for something to give my life more meaning, actually. And I came across an invitation to attend a 3-day conference out in California. It was being hosted by Mary Morrissey, who had been following on and off over the years. So I knew that it wasn't just your typical scam. In fact, she's been teaching transformational development for people for over 40 years. So I knew that it was a good opportunity. And while I was there, in fact, the name of the conference was the Dream Builder Live. And I thought, I could use some dreaming in my life right now. So I went out there and they extended an invitation to become a life coach. And the thought of not only helping people, but the fact that that could also lead to a potentially unlimited income all put together was sounded like a perfect combination for me.
Mhm.
So I dove in and decided that this really seemed like the right path for me. Well, I do have a heart for helping others and had discovered basically that the corporate box wasn't something that I wanted to be a part of anymore. I tend to be rather independent and not exactly a rule follower. And so um the when you're working a corporate job, which is great for a lot of people, had ideas beyond that, and there was no opening for those type of ideas. And so I knew that it just was far too limiting for what I wanted from my life. Um, and they pretty much told me that in many ways by, when I tried to bring up some of those ideas, it was like, oh, you're gone. It was one of those situations where, they say that first, there's a feather to tell you what's different in your life or what should be different in your life. And if you ignore that, then you get a brick. And if you ignore that, then you get the brick wall. And by being let go of a few jobs, I'd say my brick walls were there. So it forced me kind of to look out and see what else might be out there for me. And so I have pretty much, probably 98% at least, sworn off the whole idea of doing a corporate job again in my life.
And what part feels more challenging?
Yeah. Well, the part that gives me the most joy is when I can shed a little bit of light on a different perspective for somebody, maybe something that they haven't thought of. And if that begins to crack them open just a tad and begin to think that there's so much more to life than their current circumstances. We are powerful beings, and we've got so much more that we can be doing with our lives. And if I can just begin to see that crack open just a little bit with somebody, that makes me feel like that I've accomplished something, because I'm not here to tell anybody how to live their life. I believe that we're all instinctively know how we should be living our life and what we should be doing. And my job is to help you to discover that for yourself and to help you pull that out of yourself and realize that life is so big, and the bigger your dreams, the more you can realize those dreams. So, and I would say that the most challenging is kind of to get people to realize that you just got to have that little bit of crack in your shell to allow some of tho- those new ideas to come in. Um, and you can truly live a life that you absolutely love living. And unfortunately, I think we've been taught so much fear in our life. You have to go out and live the American dream, quote unquote, which in most people's eyes is go to college, get a job, have a family, have that good job. And that's the American dream. And I believe that it's so much more than that. I think that if we just let ourselves dream and move in the direction of, even if something as small as, I've always wanted to learn how to play the piano.